Hello, community. Today we look at AI jobs that open up in 2023. If you want to have a new job in January, we have here a look at a job portal called Glassdoor. So, is anything that I told you here on this channel of value if you want to get a job? So, let's do the reality check. I decided to go for 3 branches. We at first have a machine learning research scientist, so really heavy research. Then we look at a data scientist, at a junior and a senior data scientist. And if you're a little bit more experienced and you already have some years of industrial experience, we look for the head of machine learning in R&D to see what the difference then on a clear level of programming languages, what they have to have a qualification for. And we look at jobs in consulting, everything from Deloitte to whatever. We look at digital health company, a strong emerging branch. And we look at the main investors in AI, the pharmaceutical and the biotechnology industry. So here we go. Now, as I told you, these are the job offers we're going to look at. But before, for 2 minutes, we have a look at what professional certificates you can get to enter your job. Of course, I take, for example, only Coursera, choose whatever you like, and we're going to look at the professional certificates you get and what Google Cloud and AWS can do for you and where you are. Now, first off, there is a question which AI or machine learning jobs you want to apply for. Now, I'm not the person to tell you what are your job description, but here I take from Google, the Vertex AI. Very easy. You have a data engineer, you have a data analyst, and you have a product manager. And if you apply some artificial intelligence and you want to have a predictive intelligence system, you have here on this side, you have a data scientist that creates AI models that work, like Transformer, BERT, whatever. Then when you have the model, this is just the intelligent core of something. But of course, you have a machine learning developer that puts everything around this beautiful mathematical new construct. And then you have to put it in production. And normally the jobs are called machine learning engineers. They put your data scientist model with all the klimbim around in production, and they monitor, and you have everything that is machine learning operations. I have a specific video on this. So beautiful. Here we go. I get a lot of questions. What is the difference between a data scientist and a data analyst? Coursera has a nice definition. I have here the link for you. You can check it yourself. Please always do. So, from mathematical point of view, you have just a foundational mathematical and statistical knowledge, but a data scientist, hey, you need a lot of more mathematics. You have advanced statistics, predictive analytics, everything that's connected with them. Programming. As an analyst, you are okay if you have some basic fluency in Python or SQL, but here, as a data scientist, you better excel in object-oriented programming, maybe also Python. Software for the data analyst, classical, Excel, really Excel, okay? You have the business intelligence software, the BI software, for example, Tableau would be a very famous example here. Now, for a data scientist, the world is completely different. You are operating on multi-cluster, you are on big data, you have the Hadoop system, you have the MySQL, you are operating in TensorFlow. And for the big data part, still it is Spark. And this is amazing. And I will talk about TensorFlow versus Spark in a minute. Other skills, you have to be analytical thinking, you have to be beautiful, you have to have some knowledge about data visualization, because you have to show this to the production team. Now, a data scientist, wow, completely different. You have to excel in machine learning, in data modeling, data pipeline. You have to know everything about the theoretical understanding of artificial intelligence model, and so on. So you see, a data analyst, clearly a different spectrum of capabilities and qualifications compared to a data scientist. And on we go. Now, if you want to see, you take a certificate from Coursera, for example, and you have here, IBM is on there as their platform, you have IBM Data Science, you get a professional certificate. And they tell you, you learn about data science, deep learning in 11 months, machine learning, big data, data mining, everything in 11 months. Beautiful. Now, they tell you There are job titles that you can apply with this certificate. Data scientist, business intelligence analyst, data analyst, I just showed you. So nice. If you want to get an idea and you know exactly what job you want, have a look here in the Coursera and fish out the certificates that you think that are of value to you. Now, you have a data analyst, we just talked about this. This is, for example, this is free. You can enroll. You do not get a certificate, but you can get all the knowledge, and this is the beauty of Coursera. You can enroll for free. So, what are the job titles here? Data analyst, associative data analyst, junior data analyst, my goodness. And so it goes on. But of course, it's not just IBM, but you have the same in Google. This is also nice. You can enroll for free. And this has here the titles. You can apply for junior data analyst and so on. You get it. Now, if you have questions about what is the specific qualification for a job, there's a beautiful website, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I have here the link for you. And here you go and you say data scientist. You have a summary, what do they do, what is their work environment, how to become one, what is the pay, the job outlook. Beautiful. Typical entry-level education is a bachelor degree. The median pay in 2021 was about $100,000 per year or about $50 per hour. And you have the number of jobs and you have the job outlook from 2021 to 2031. It's plus 36%, much faster than average, and so on. Here you have all the data. Have a look at this. Now, the real heavy stuff is, of course, specific to cloud vendors, to cloud infrastructure. Here we have Google Cloud. And they also have, enroll for free, beautiful, machine learning on Google Cloud specialization. So you are working now with specific Google engine, the Vertex AI, AutoML, the BigQuery ML. You build, train, deploy machine learning models. You are working here with Keras, with TensorFlow 2.x. You create Vertex AI training jobs. You use containers. You have the feature store. You have hyperparameter tuning, everything that we know, but now, of course, specific on the Google Cloud platform. And you say, hey, what about AWS? Well, the same in green as we used to say. You have here your badges, your certification. You can go from solution architect, advanced networking, database. Hey, there's even one for machine learning. Hello. Or you can simply do data analytics. So you can have their courses. Of course, you have to pay for this, and this is not cheap. A very short interrupt. If you're interested in building up your skills, I can recommend this to you, AWS Skill Builder. Not sponsored, not everything. I just think they offer some free resources that are of value to you if you start programming, coding, whatever. So AWS Skill Builder, your learning center, and you have here featured content. And you see here that some of the content is free. Of course, it's just an hour, 6 minutes, 30 minutes, 17 minutes. It's digital training, of course. But if you can get some free training from AWS that they are, of course, try to lure you into their ecosystem. But if you're careful, take the knowledge, learn as much as you can about cloud infrastructure platforms. And then you see the really interesting one. You have a subscription, requires a subscription. But whatever is free, take the offer. Learn whatever you can. If you are training then for some AWS examination, if you want to have a certificate, they even have here certification guidelines. They help you in your language, in Japanese, in Spanish, in Chinese. It's 6 hours. Of course, you have to pay for this. So you have to pay to prepare for the test, and then you have to take the test. This also takes some money, so you know how the system plays out. Something nice, what I did not know, AWS Jam. And they give you here machine learning training and build skill and knowledge by solving lab challenges based on AWS best practices. I found these examples really valuable. So let's look at machine learning, what they give us. Now, $29 per month is not so expensive, but if you can afford $29 a month, have a look at this. Maybe it is worth for you. It's not sponsored. I just think that's nice. But always check out what they offer you. And they tell you, hey, in this jam journey, you will learn Jupyter Notebook, some Panda operation, you build model in Amazon SageMaker, you do the shift to Amazon Redshift, you run the inferences on Redshift, you utilize the SageMaker and Comprehend API to detect sentiment in text data, so classical NLP. Then you build an image classification algorithm, then analyze the sentiment again of a text, and you monitor the model performance. And if this is, I have not seen it, so be careful, but if this is the best practice of AWS, this is a showcase, they show you how to do it. Maybe if you're starting new and you want to focus absolutely on AWS, think about this course. It is nice compared to other courses. I think $29 a month could be reasonable if you can afford it. So look out for this either free or paid but not so expensive learning experiences. Of course, you have the big player, you have AWS, you have Google Cloud, and so on. But I just wanted to show you this, the AWS Gem Journey. Maybe you like this, have a look at this. You get the materials, they tell you what you get. Additional information, check out for yourself before you decide anything. But you should know you have a huge array of opportunities right in front of you. And now here we are, the main part. We look at the jobs, the real jobs. It is November the 8th, 2022, and I use a job portal to scan for jobs. Given that we are looking for a job with AI, machine learning, deep learning, what does the industry, the industrial sectors ask for? I have 4 clusters. I have the premier strategy and economic consulting firms, very boutique. We have investment companies, we have digital health companies, and we have the biotech and the pharmaceutical sector. Of course, I focus here on the global players like Bayer, so we really see what they need, where is their technological level, what they ask their job applicants for. So here we go. First one, the data scientist. Just simple data scientist. So we're here, top left corner, consulting industry branch. Right corner, what is it? A data scientist located in Boston, Massachusetts, United States of America, this planet. Now, salary up to $200,000 per year. This is so nice. Consulting really pays well if you have the qualification. So let's have a look in detail what they are asking for. They ask for a degree in computer science, engineering, mathematics, or statistics. They ask for an academic experience in data science, software development. They ask for well-versed on technological hot topics. Well, data science, NLP, AI, ML, distributed computing. This is interesting. They want to have a self-directed entrepreneurial environment, ability to manage multiple complex work streams and walk across organizational and matrix-based boundaries. Yes, of course, this is the typical environment a consulting company works in. So, investment company. Let's take what is an investment company looking for in a data scientist in Boston, Massachusetts. Now you see we're a little bit less attractive from the salary, up to $132,000. These are just indicative figures, please. The experience they expect that you have when you apply for a job in an investment company. Minimum is a master's degree in engineering, computer science, mathematics, or computational statistics, operational research, or machine learning. You have advanced knowledge in AI, model evaluation, model tuning, model performance optimization, and operationalization. This means to deploy the model. You have hands-on experience for supervised and unsupervised machine learning. Beautiful. I showed you this, for example, with our sentence transformers. You have a supervised training and an unsupervised training. Then you have programming skills in Python. So a typical Python 3. Now, this is interesting, Spark and Scala. And if you're not familiar with Databricks, for example, you say, hey, what the hell is PySpark and Scala? Well, PySpark is just a derivative, given that you have the Python ecosystem, but Scala was really, in the old days, the hardcore multi-cluster, multi-distributed, multi-parallel for Databricks, the language for Databricks. So SQL, you know, MATLAB, beautiful, great. And they tell you, page 2 of 2, the skills you bring. Yeah, you have everything about, you know everything about natural language processing, deep learning, neural networks, cloud machine learning. So very, very general. Let's be a little bit more specific. Let's say the 20s are behind you. You are now a senior data scientist. So what does industry today in mid-November 2022 look for? We're looking here for the position of a senior data scientist in Massachusetts, and we're here in the industry of digital health, of startups, of whatever. So you have to have a PhD in computer science, and computer electrical engineering, mathematics, physics, statistics. Well, you have experience with machine learning models like transformer architecture. Hey, bird, hello, little bird. And you have an experience, and here we have it again, with Python. So more or less the classical Python 3 that we all love, and the PySpark. And now you see here again, here we are in the machine learning, and here we are in the big data, if you want. Because PySpark, or Scala, as I showed you, this is where all the companies have their huge warehouses, their huge data lakes. And maybe they have not transferred it to a Delta Lake, but more about this later. And you have typical SQL, no? This everything is in a database. This is where the data comes from. This is what they sometimes call big data in comparison to the machine learning. Okay, what else? Ability to develop experimental analytic plans for data modeling processes. So you have to be able, now you're a senior, to come up with new data modeling processes. Beautiful. What else? PhD degree with 4 years of applied research, or, and this is something you will see regularly, either you have a PhD or just a university master's degree with not 4 but 6+ years of experience in applied research experience. And 3+ years of experience in building machine learning models for business application. They, they ask you for, show me that you have a practical business application product. You have Java, C++, Python, or something else. They ask for design machine learning models, build machine learning models, tested, and release predictive machine learning models. So our classical AI, ML, DL models. Beautiful. And then they ask you, since you're now senior, to develop an efficient data querying infrastructure. So here you have again big data. If you have, I don't know, 100,000 data streams coming in per second, you have to analyze them, you have to clean them, you have to prepare them, you have to store them, you have to process them, you have to input them to your machine learning models, and so on. And then you have this efficient inference infrastructure where you have, let's call it the hardware infrastructure for all your models. Of course, they are cloud-based. So now, contrary to the data science, now we do some machine learning. We are looking at a position in ML, research scientist. What does industry ask at mid-November 2022 from a machine learning research scientist in the US? We are now operating in the industry branch of pharmaceuticals, and yeah, the company is, this is just for me that I know where my files are, the company name starts with P. Now we look here. Qualifications. Formal training. This means university degree in computer science, statistics, applied mathematics, computational biology. You see now that we are deep in pharmaceuticals or biotech, you have now application-specific knowledge, biology, computational chemistry, physics, or anything related. They simply ask you, after your PhD, for 2 years programming experience in Python, and 2 years experience in production-grade systems using ML. They're not interested in anymore in some theoretical, no, production-ready. Of course, we are working in the industry. Now, you should have some qualifications that have applied experience with major ML algorithms in either NLP, the natural language processing, computer vision, hey, information retrieval. This is nice. I have a specific video on semantic information retrieval systems, convolutional neural networks, transformer architecture, everything that we love, they ask you for. Beautiful. Working knowledge on biomedical images, biomedical text, of course, what we trained for. Hey, this was okay. Okay. So, preferred qualification. They give you even, hey, what we are looking for especially is PhD plus 2 years of relevant research experience, an experience with a high-performance computing environment. So supercomputer, you know, NVIDIA, Google's TPU, scientific hypercomputing. And you are familiar, of course, with cloud computing platforms, AWS, from a company we all love, and Google Cloud Services, beautiful. Practical experience, yes, and now it's nice. Now, they want that you have a strong publication record because you are a scientist, so you have to publish like in the university. And you have these classical conferences that you have shown and proven that you are worthy, that you can apply for this job. Now, interesting is that the technology we use: Python, Java, C++, Google Cloud Platform, AWS, Docker, Container, Kubernetes, Python, NumPy, Panda, Dask, PyTorch, TensorFlow, scikit-learn, yes, beautiful. So everything we know and we love. Next step. Now, we are not anymore a senior data scientist, but we are now in our 30s, maybe already in our 40s, and we are now the lead data scientist. Now, it's a very senior position. What are the industrial qualifications? What they ask us. We're in the US and we have a lead data scientist in the pharmaceutical industry, global players only. So you have a sound understanding of statistical and ML approaches with experience applying those techniques to solve complex problems. Industry wants to solve their problems. So what they ask for: AI, ML, of course, build data pipelines, data acquisition, data preparation, data cleaning, feature extraction, consolidation of your data, everything that you need. If you are you are a data engineer, not a data scientist. Now here, you have to demonstrate an ability and take initiatives, yes, and you manage technical execution from concept to completion. Hey, you are the lead, so you're responsible for your whole team, for the whole chain. Beautiful. Actively collaborate with other data scientists, with data engineers, with scientists from other disciplines. Yes, absolutely clear. Let's go for the hardcore technical terms. You have a PhD with 4 years of relevant experience. You have either a degree in computer science, mathematics, engineering, physics, and statistics. So you see always a university degree. You might ask, yeah, hey, what about this beautiful AWS certificate? Yeah, add on, beautiful. But you have to have a solid educational proof. What are you looking for? ML techniques in classical modeling or applied mathematics. I love mathematics. Python. And they become quite clear. They're quite focused. There's a text preprocessing, normalization, tokenization, lemmatization, stemming, path tagging, parsing, entity extraction. And then they even specify NLP as a BERT, other transformer model. So they are definitely in the NLP structure. Along with sequence models for semantic analysis. Hey, sentence transformers, hello, here we are. Text extraction, prediction tasks, generation tasks. And they work with the classical, old-fashioned cloud services, Lambda function, my goodness. So this was the lead. And now, if you're really, really senior, just to show you up the ladder, the senior principal data scientist. Now, let's have a look at this very noble position. We're in the US, we're here in the consulting sector because, hey, this sector really pays well, yeah? 200,000 plus US dollars. You are now the senior principal data scientist. Of course, you have a PhD in engineering, physics, mathematics, and computer science. Yeah, it would be good if you have 4 PhD at the same time. No problem at all. You have Python, C. You have your AI frameworks like PyTorch or similar, TensorFlow, JAX. And this is nice. Now they specify they have acceleration, ML acceleration with GPUs, and you have to have a knowledge in parallel programming. This is what I showed you or will show you with JAX and so on. The new GPU infrastructure, the new Hopper architecture from NVIDIA or from Google, the TPU version 4. And you have experience working with AI cloud computer infrastructure. Well, everything that we know and we love, and hey, the name should not be there. This is just for me internally. I think we're already done. Just want to show you two exceptional positions. You can go for this if you really want to make money. Yes, there is the possibility. We're at November 8th, 2022. So whenever you see this video, please check out your job portal, your job, whatever you have online. There are some really, really golden examples. So we're looking for a senior data scientist, so you're in your 30s. We are, of course, in the consulting sector. The company starts with D, and the rest is hidden. We are here as senior data scientist, up to 250K per year. Not bad, I have to tell you. So, but what you have to bring. You have an understanding of a multi-channel marketing optimization problem space. Yes. You say, what, just a normal space or a normalized space, a Euclidean space, a Hausdorff complete space, or what are you talking about? So they're gonna be happy. You have now to specify a research plan. You are now senior, so you have a structured approach. You're being able to interpret the model that are being generated. You have to choose the right model. You assist the data engineering team, so you're the head of more or less. Setting your proof of concept live in our production, so you have the idea and you're bringing it to production. Everything is beautiful, everything is great. Nice consulting sector in the US. I have to say, very nice consulting sector. This name is only for me, so please forget that this is the company at November 8th, 2022. What they published, what they are looking for. And by the way, if you want to investigate a company, if you want to apply there, have a look at their last hiring, what they hired the last 6 months, 1 year. You get a good idea what is their qualification of their new team members. So forget that there's here the name. Consulting sector, you have a PhD in engineering, mathematics, physics, machine learning, and computer science, of course, and maybe in addition you have a master degree in mathematics, physics, machine learning, and computer science. Master degrees will still be considered as they can demonstrate the required ability. So if you only have a master degree, well, yes, first class, second class, and the rest. You have experience manipulating big data. So here we are again in the old Databricks with AI and data. And we are here on the big data side where you have clusters of cloud computing, where you have more than terabyte of data that you have to take care of in very short amounts of time. The classical open source framework is, of course, Spark with PySpark. And the other one I told you, then Apache Kafka, Hadoop, the classical Hadoop, Impala, famous, and hey, I don't know Luigi. So whatever is Luigi, you better look it up if you apply for a job over there. You are, of course, working in high quality Python code. Yes, you know everything about unit testing, source control, your review. You work in agile teams. You're using a Scrum, you know, the 1980s Scrum organizational teams. You demonstrate communication abilities. You have a deep interest in data science and AI. If you subscribe to my channel, you can prove them that you have a deep interest in data science and AI. You say, yeah, the best channel, I have subscribed to this. And this is an interesting part, you participated in competition participation like Kaggle. And this is nice. And this is what I expected to see a lot earlier, was code in the open domain in GitHub. If you have a public GitHub repository, show us. Write about it. Please share this with us. So if you want to apply and you are a year before or 2 years before, you want to go and earn some money in the industry, why not start today with your GitHub? If you have some beautiful code, if you have some great ideas, start structurally building up strategically your GitHub repository. Okay. Now, another exceptional golden egg I would like to show you. But this is just if you are in your 40s or in your 50s and you are now the head of machine learning research. And we are looking here at a company in the biopharma sector. The company name starts with Bayer, and whatever the name is, they publish this officially globally on the internet. They're looking for November 2022, a head of machine learning research for the US for this little company here in the biopharma sector. So you are responsible for the global R&D in ML. You identify the most impactful and toughest challenges of drug discovery, and you solve them at scale. Of course, you solve them. I mean, the salary is so beautiful that you will solve them, no problem at all. You remain at the cutting edge of ML research by keeping up to date with the latest techniques, okay? Yes, you are involved and actively engaged with the machine learning R&D community. Yes, beautiful. And you publish high-impact open source software and publications at major conferences. Now, since you are the head, you have the personnel, you have your team, you have your structure. You can participate of the young and beautiful and intelligent young data scientists, data engineers, ML engineers, whatever you have, so no problem at all. And you enhance, no, this is here, forget that this is the wording here, the company's reputations and the presence in the biopharma industry. So this is definitely something that they want to show off. Beautiful. Now, interesting for you, if you are in your 40s, you have a PhD in machine learning, you have 8 to 12 years of experience, you have 5 years in the pharmaceutical industry. Of course, if you're head in biopharma, you have to show that you belong there. You have published at the top tier national, international ML conferences, journals, whatever. You have an empathetic leadership style, beautiful, high impact, yes, everything. Now, for your knowledge, extensive knowledge of ML from a theoretical and practical perspective. Profound knowledge in deep learning. So you have to know everything from a theoretical level, from a practical level, from an implementation level, from an ML ops level. You have to be able to explain everything to your shareholders, to your bosses. You have to steer the whole ML research and development process within this global conglomerate. So beautiful. Now, interesting here, and this is why I chosen this particular small little company here, is tools and libraries. And they have machine learning frameworks, and they have all 3 ML frameworks. They have PyTorch, they have TensorFlow, and they have JAX. And especially in biopharma, JAX has an advantage of speed. But just that you get an idea, and you will see that on my channels, I always show PyTorch, TensorFlow, and now more and more JAX. In the industry, if you're really on a senior position, they ask you that you are familiar with all 3 ML frameworks. Of course, you have your experience in high-performance computing, in cloud computing, in yes. Hey, wait a second. Jesus. High-performance computing, cloud computing, you have computational needs of modern ML models. So beautiful. If you're in this position, you don't care if you spend some millions for cloud infrastructure builds. Of course, you are complex, analytical, and technical context. You are a genius. You are God. Everything is beautiful. You have a track record. And you succeeded in AI, AM, engineering teams deliver complex machine learning models. So beautiful. I think now you have a complete spectrum if you go up the ladder from a very junior data scientist to a principal data scientist. But let me give you one insight. If I take all of this knowledge that I just showed you, and it took me 2 days to collect this, by the way, what is the insight? Now, we are now applying our human intelligence to understand the artificial intelligence qualification that you need for the job. And if you write down everything you have seen here for the data scientist, I came up with this. Have a look at this. So we're looking for the data scientist, and this includes a junior, a little bit senior, and a head. What is it? And it's interesting because if I try to make sense of all these thousands of pages, at first we have a layer, and this is your education. And you have a PhD in computer science, in computer electrical engineering, and mathematics or physics. Full stop. You can say, I need a degree in computer science, mathematics, physics, statistics, or a degree in yes, or you have a PhD. And also a master is accepted with some additional 2 to 5 years of experience. So if you only have a master and you have 3 to 5 years of experience, plus you can compete with a young one with a PhD. Let's say this is the way it is. Engineering, physics, mathematics, computer science. This is if you want to study, if you are trying to decide, should I go to university? What should I study? Choose between physics, mathematics, and computer science. Beautiful. Then we have the huge block here from our Glassdoor. In Glassdoor, the portal published industrial job applications that they ask you that this is your experience, your knowledge. Everything about what we know classically in machine learning, data science, NLP. You have to have a knowledge about the transformer architecture, about BERT, about supervised, unsupervised machine learning, about model evaluation, model tuning, operational setting of models. You have to design, to understand, to build, to test, and release predictive machine learning models. Of course, otherwise we do not need machine learning. Task they ask you is semantic analysis, interesting, text extraction, yeah, of course, prediction. And then you show one company even goes a step closer, a step deeper, text preprocessing, normalization technique, tokenization, lemmatization, stemming, everything else. So in short, as they wrote it, NLP approaches such as BERT or other transformer models. So you see, currently, November 8, 2022, the industry, as published in Glassdoor, is looking for transformer models dominantly in NLP. This is great. This is all the techniques that you have already seen on my channel. And now there's a huge part that you should not ignore, because this part is still very important. It is generally called big data or distributed computing. And what it is, it comes from all the data that industry collected over the years in their databases, in their data lakes, whatever, in their data warehouses. I have 3 videos on them. I show you I give you the link. And then now you have in 2021, now 2022, this Delta Lake coming up, this new evolution of what used to be a database, what used to be a data warehouse. Now we have this structured, semi-structured, non-structured data structures, whatever. This is what this is all about. Where are the data coming from to feed into your ML models? And you have here in the industry still the old infrastructure idea. You have the big data querying SQL and inference infrastructure. These are the words from the industry. You have the big data sets and the AI framework. You see how they separate this. The big data sets, this is their warehouses, their data warehouses, big data. And here you have what they call AI frameworks. And then they give you the definition, even the industry, that they ask you for big data, and it is a Spark, so either you're Spark or Scala. Then you have Apache Kafka, then you have Hadoop, the old classical Hadoop. You have Impala, beautiful, and I still don't know Luigi, that's the same day. And then here you have here, this is a beautiful line because Python should live here. Python lives here and in the data science, AI, ML, NLP, and PySpark originally, historically, Databricks times, lives in big data. And this is what you see, what I guess will merge in the next 2 years. You see that Google Cloud, for example, is integrating now PySpark into their BigQuery. And I will do a video on the development on Python and Spark especially, and the availability on the future Google Cloud infrastructure in 2023, maybe in 1 or 2 months. But you see here, they ask you solid knowledge in SQL. My goodness, SQL from the 1980s. And here again, another company, Python lives here for me, Spark, big data, but also very good in machine learning and everything else. Scala, the hardcore Databricks, original language if you want, or SQL, everything that's to do with cloud machine learning. I have 2-3 videos on cloud ML. There's this automated processes, beautiful. And of course here they ask you, because big data, you are here in data structures, they go beyond your imagination. You have to have parallel programming. You have to have acceleration with GPUs, TPUs. And remember in my last videos, I showed you that the GPUs and TPUs now do automatically scaling in the cloud. Automatically parallel programming with VMAP, with PMAP in JAX. JAX is the third ML framework that does this automatically for you in a beautiful way. So you see, it all depends on each other. It all integrates with itself. But if you want to take some knowledge from this video, you have to have a good education. It is good if you have a Google certificate, an IBM certificate, an AWS certificate, but look what the industry asks you for. This is your PhD in computer science, engineering, mathematics, or physics, full stop. Then you have to have this knowledge about AI, data science, NLP. And this data side, it is so important because all the data you're going to encounter in your company, in your industry, there's a high chance of probability they're still somewhere in some data warehouses, in some data, whatever. And they are hidden there. You have the data silos still active. So you have to bring them over to the new big data platforms to be able to feed them also to the AI ML systems that you have. This is it for the data scientist. And gee, I just noticed how long this is. And just to show you, if you want some of the topics I just showed you here on my channel, if you go to my home screen, you see here, I have here a playlist. I have here about sentence BERT, I have about graph neural networks, about BERT transformer. If you want to learn, there are a lot of videos waiting for you. If you go for a large language model, your cross-encoder data set training, here's everything for you. And if you are interested in this big data part, I have here a playlist especially for you. This is about large-scale data analytics and data science with Apache Spark and PySpark. And you see here, I show you, it's already a year ago, because a year ago I started to dig myself into this topic about Apache Spark, how you can use the new Panda API that you are familiar with. Now, even on a Spark platform, I show you about MLlib machine learning libraries that you have operating on Spark. I show you about Delta Lake. Yeah, let's move a little bit. What you can do on Delta Lake, what is the structure? If you move from the data warehouse to the data lakes and then to the lake house, if you want to code on the Delta Lake, the data science, and yeah, then Apache Spark. You can also run Spark on a Google Colab notebook if you want to get your first experience. This is just 11 months ago. So if you want to discover this maybe for you hidden treasure chest of big data where the industry is still storing their data, there is a specific playlist for you. But I think any other good YouTube video will help you. Or if you go directly to Databricks, Databricks is the company. They provide exceptional good learning materials if you want to create some insight where the data pipeline will start probably for your industrial journey. I wanted to show you the same now for ML, for machine learning scientists. There are completely different insights. But gee, I'm already close to 40 minutes, so I say thank you. If you're interested to see more of this, or for example, see the ML scientist, where I deducted the insights, where I wanted to show you what's the difference to a data scientist, leave me a comment in the description of this video. And if enough people are interested, hey, I show you the insights of ML. I say thank you for this video, and I see you in the next one.